I'm here, y'all. I see you in the chat. I appreciate you, Wow Wayne, holding it down. It's Saturday, and I had a little bit of time. Been trying to come on for a minute, but it's been real busy and chaotic. Actually, I'm trying to look into the planetary alignments because I know we're in a retrograde. I know there's a lot of planetary movement going on. For sure, it's affecting me, so it has to be affecting other people too. Probably Jamie Foxx as well. And we're going to talk about him first. A couple other things I wanted to talk about. Ebony K. Williams went viral for her comment about not wanting to marry a bus driver. Okay, we're going to talk about that. And then I don't know how many of you guys are watching the Power Book 2 series. Power Book 2 came on last night. Not sure what episode that was, but that was a hell of an episode. A lot went on, and I thought it was the final. I'm like, this must be the final episode. But I want to talk about that, and as well, Dear Mama. It's that documentary series about Tupac and his mama, Afeni Shakur. And episode 4 aired yesterday, I believe, and it's something to watch. I want to talk a little about that as well. A lot to talk about, but I'm not in a hurry, and I apologize for all the delays. If any of y'all been channel watching and seeing, I've been posting times and then unposting it. Shout out to you, Wayne, for helping me out. I know, right, Carmen? Power is like the business. I don't know. Some people say they ain't watched the second book 2 Power because they didn't like the fact that Ghost was gone. I actually like Tariq in this particular this series. I didn't like Tariq at all. I don't care how young he was in the first Power. But yeah, he's I don't know how it's gonna end, but so far he's been hanging on. Victoria, hi. Good evening. Where you at, girl? It's 3:10 in the afternoon where I am. But yeah, good evening to you. Good day to everybody. I'm gonna be ready to get started in just 1 second. I just wanted to make sure everything was good, the audio and whatnot. Jamie Foxx, man, I've been getting into these rabbit holes of conspiracies, and don't go on TikTok and search him. But I do want to show a couple things that I did find I thought were interesting. But yeah, just give me a sec. Shout out to all my new subscribers, by the way. Hopefully y'all will make it over to the lives. I need to, that's what I meant to do. Matter of fact, well, Wayne, you want to come up here and hold it down for a second? No? Okay. Let me know. Michelle Hurd. I haven't even officially started, but let's get into it. I'm not going to delay it. I'm probably going to go on my member channel later because I had something come up right before I was going to come to this particular live schedule, right? Which then prevented me to prepare for this live. But I had to do it. That's just how I am. I'm a laser focused type of person. Once I'm into a thing and I'm in working and I'm into it, I'm it's hard to get me off of it. So, but it's all good. All good. All right. And YouTube. Okay. So in the member channel, first of all, I'm going to pull my cards. I haven't done my tarot cards on YouTube in a long time, but the Jamie Foxx situation warrants a tarot reading, so we'll do that tonight. How about that? And also, I want to talk about YouTube and this algorithm of theirs, and I see what y'all are doing. I see it, and I want to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about it here on the public channel. Shouldn't be just privy to all the things, So I'm going to talk about that, as well as just a couple of other things that are probably a little more personal. But I want to say $1.99 a month ain't bad for the member channel. Okay. Let's do the thing.
God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Love in this light. Yes, God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
Yes. Peace, world, peace, welcome or welcome back to Goddess Dawn Speaks. I'm Goddess Dawn, the warrior baby, coming live. We live. It's been a while, like a week. And yeah, I'm in LA, West Coast, baby. And I am here. Okay. You're Goddess Dawn Speaks, in case you lost. I am Goddess Dawn, the $1 trillion goddess, truth warrior, daughter of God, light worker, meditation coach, quantum healer, all of the above, and then some. And yeah, let's talk about some things that are going on in the world. Of course, there's a whole war happening, okay? And we're not that far removed from it, but this is just, not the type of topic I'm trying to tackle on a Saturday afternoon. So, but I think Jamie Foxx might be the elephant in the room. So let's talk about Jamie Foxx a little bit. Now, we know that in late April, I think like the last week in April, Jamie Foxx was hospitalized. His daughter came out and she let the world know that her father had been rushed to the hospital and that, he was under critical care. Now, nobody, she or no one else, has confirmed exactly why he was hospitalized. We did see a lot of people stroke and embolism, or is it aneurysm? Aneurysm. And a lot of people who are anti-vax, I'm gonna tell you that, were on Twitter saying that, yeah, he was vaccinated, wasn't he? Give us his vax status. They want to prove their point that the vaccination causes a lot of after effects that aren't very healthy. So, and to be honest, I did do a little deep dive on the vaccination after effects, and there have been a lot of deaths which contribute more so, they say, heart attacks, strokes, but it's because of the blood clots that the vaccination has promoted in people, me included. I'm just going to say that. I hate to even admit that I got the damn shot, but at the time it was due to, I had a lot of things going on. I was traveling, and a lot of the things happening actually had a lot of weight. The vaccination had a lot of weight on whether or not those things were going to come through or not, or happen. And sometimes that type of sacrifice, I guess, is necessary. Although looking back on it, I probably wouldn't have done it. Should I? Because at the end of the day, they never really checked. They say they're going to check. Yeah, you got to be vaccinated to do this, or to travel here, to come to this event, or to do this or that. But then when you get there, they want to hug and handshake and excuse you, and then they don't ask you for the card. So, and now they're actually pulling back. A lot of places aren't even asking for it, for like employment and things like that. So, with that said, there's the newest thing on Jamie. I just looked this up actually. Let's talk about this. It says Jamie Foxx update reveals why he hasn't been discharged yet. And this is my first time reading this. Like I said, not much preparation before coming live. And anybody who knows me and this channel knows I like to kind of prepare a little bit on my topics, at least, even though I'm keeping up throughout the week. I want to make sure I got content for you. But we're reading this together for the first time. So, the ever-evolving news regarding Jamie Foxx's health status has been quite up and down over the last few weeks, but a new report is finally clearing up some of the unanswered questions. As we know, the 55 actor was hospitalized after suffering a medical complication last month, and the information about his progress hasn't been explicitly clear in recent days. According to People, a source close to the day shift star reveals that Foxx is in fact on the road to recovery, though he remains in the hospital for monitoring and testing. Jamie is stable and not in a life-threatening situation now, the source told Outlet, adding that doctors are doing more tests and want to be completely sure that he will be okay before allowing him to be discharged. the insider noticed that the Spider-Man No Way Home story. It's funny to me how they get in their movie titles, um, which I don't know. I just say that just because a lot of these outlets are promoted by studios and PR people and this and that, and they typically will check in with these sources in quotes and air quotes here, which are these studio type people. And these studio type people are really all about the bottom line, all about making this person in a position to continue to make money for them, whether whoever it is. So all I'm saying is just this is why we see this written this way. But it says that he's under orders to keep his stress level down, and that's in quotes. To return home, though it's unclear when that might be, as his exact condition has not yet been made public. Exactly. And why hasn't it? If he's doing so well, why don't we know what is their business? Okay, as a person. However, Jamie Foxx, the figure that he is, in he's a honestly he is a worldwide star. He's kind of up there on the echelon. I guess you could say he's an A-lister. I would say that he had some pull. He was doing this Netflix movie during this situation. Now, I did do another live prior to this where we talked about what was going on during the period of this medical issue that happened. Article that said he was not on set when this happened, but then people are coming out saying it did happen on set, which makes a difference because that set was full of drama, scams, and different things. A lot of toxicity. Even Cameron Diaz, who came out of retirement for the role, says she's going right back in after she wraps because of all the drama, said to be led by Jamie Foxx. So I don't know. It's just some weird stuff. But let me go on with this. The Dreamgirls alum reportedly wouldn't be spending another minute at the hospital if it wasn't what's best for his health right now, as the source called the hospital the last place Jamie wants to be. He has a lot of projects going on. They explain he gets things done. He is focused and astute. What happened to him medically is serious enough to keep him in the hospital. Okay. Earlier this week, Foxx gave his fans a hopeful update when he shared a message on social media thanking his family and friends and the hospital's medical staff for supporting him. He said, appreciate all the love. Feeling blessed, which I think was the only quote. I don't remember him thanking friends and the hospital medical staff in that. Did I miss something? Somebody really fluffed this article up. Fox's family and celebrity pals have been rushing to support him, including his daughter Corinne Foxx, who first announced the news of his health scare, as well as friends Kevin Hart, Nick Cannon, and Martin Lawrence. And see, and thing is too, is like when people like a Kevin Hart speak on Nick, right? I mean, on Jamie Foxx, in the press, TMZ or whatever, whoever catches them, or whoever set up for the comment, he's speaking on it as if he knows firsthand. Oh, he's doing much better. Oh, he's improving this and that. And then at the end of the day, he had to admit that, oh, I actually haven't seen him and I don't know after all. So they use these people like, the Kevin Harts and the Nick Cannons and the Martin Lawrences to give credibility to these statements that aren't probably true. I mean, I'm not trying to be pessimistic in this situation. I'm just being real. Like, this article screams PR. We've heard some things since his arrest. Sorry. I was thinking about Jaguar Wright because I just posted, in case anybody found me from that Jaguar Wright short that I posted of her being arrested by the pool. She had called into Sean Davy Way's YouTube channel, or to Sean Davy Way, the YouTuber. There's a video chat, and I just posted that on my shorts page, and that's in my brain about that because that video has over 3 million views on my channel. So shout out to Jaguar Wright, and looks like she's doing okay, and she's still fighting for the people. But yeah, so Jamie Foxx, back to Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx has had a lot of rumors swirling around him during this period of time. So let's see. The most recent thing was the friend of his. So there's supposedly this friend of his who came out on Instagram and basically said, "Listen, we want you back," as if he's gone. So people, you need to, when you read things like this, you got to really read between the lines. But he said, something like, we want you back and praying for you to come back to us. And I know people read that as they mean back in the world, right? But no, I read that as back to life, like back to, sound to me intuitively. I'm getting maybe a coma. Um, I'm not going to go as far as a lot of people are going, which is talking about cloning, that Jamie's being cloned right now. There also was a report, and I don't know if this was a legitimate report. I remember reading it, but I wasn't sure if it was from somebody from the hospital. But the report was that Jamie Foxx, reported to the police while at the hospital that somebody tried to unalive him. So I heard things about maybe he was poisoned while he was on the set, which actually would make sense based on everything we know about what was going on that movie set. So, yeah, I just don't know exactly. That's why I want to pull my cards on the member channel, of course, and we're gonna get into what spirit wants to tell us, and if Jamie is in the spirit, or can you hear me, Jamie? Give me something, you know. I'll do a little meditation and see what insight we can get. And other than that, I know that Jamie Foxx is, he's a beloved figure, I will say. But he's let us know over the years that there's things going on in Hollywood that, that is not for the everyday people. We'll just say that. I'm going to switch over to this TikTok video. Let me see if it's going to play.
This child ring shit. All of us, like Ray Charles saying, it was just an amazing moment, and like we experienced that from all of us, like Ray Charles saying, it was just an amazing moment, and like we experienced that moment like nobody else, because I didn't think it was going to happen. Yeah. So at the time, I was partying so much and getting into a lot of trouble before the Oscars was coming up, and I got a call from somebody named Oprah Winfrey. Hi, Jamie Foxx, it's Oprah Winfrey. And I ended up having to go meet with her and says, Jamie, you got to realize I didn't know it was a campaign. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So she ended up taking me to a party, and at the party, it was at Quincy Jones's house. And Quincy comes up, hey man, shit, man, you're doing a great job, man. That Ray Charles, man, you killed that son of a bitch, man. It's amazing, man. Man, yeah, come on in, man. I see the records on the wall. Yeah, 54 million, man. Michael Jackson, man. That was amazing, man. You got a chance, man, to make history, man. Man, let's not fuck it up, man. Come on, man. Shit. So he introduces me to all of these older black actors and actresses from like the 60s and 70s. They were there. Like some of them looked like they had just got that suit for that night. But you know what I mean? Like they hadn't been around and they were just. I was like, oh, I remember you. And they were like, we counting on you. And then Oprah says, okay, Jamie, you want to meet the person that's here to actually like knight you? He's right over there, and it was Sidney Poitier. Wow. And so they walked me over to Sidney Poitier. He says, I saw you one time. You were at a party. Do you remember that? And I was like, man, yes. And I said, what should I do? He says, I give you one thing. I give you responsibility. And I said, what does that mean? He says, you're responsible for your art. You're responsible for your movies and all that. Just do the right thing. So when we won that, it was a completely different, feeling. Like everybody, like, I didn't even go to the Vanity Fair party. Yeah. Like I went to, like my boy threw a party, so all of the homies and everybody there could get. So we went there.
So for any of you guys who might be wondering what was the significance of that video, Jamie Foxx just walked you guys through an entire occult ritual. He was knighted by Sidney Poitier. He talked about all of the people being in the room. That went right over our heads, and I didn't. That's why you see, let me just say this right here. Jamie Foxx apparently was asked to do something, and Jamie Foxx refused to do it. Jamie Foxx is in critical condition. He's in a lot worse predicament than we all are led to believe. Okay, Jamie Foxx tried to run away from the cult group, and apparently they caught him. And that's why moms is the word. That's why you're not seeing Jamie Foxx's family. They claim that Jamie Foxx made a statement today. Where is it? Jamie Foxx is a social media guy. He's always on social media. If Jamie Foxx was all right, you don't think he would have come on and did a post by now? The next time you see Jamie Foxx, it'll be the clone one. Get it? Do you get it? Oh, eyes is wide shut.
And for all of
Okay. She made a lot of points, and especially with regards to Jamie Foxx being somebody who would hop on a video rather than just type a statement. If he's able to type a statement, all good, I appreciate the love, and all these exclamation points, that means that even if he couldn't even lift the phone, somebody could have put the phone on him and he could have just smiled and said, I'm all good, y'all. Thanks for the love. That will be it. This guy is a movie star, okay? He's a celebrity. He's used to the cameras. And I just feel like I think the only reason it was announced in the first place by his daughter is because she knew it would get out. If we didn't hear from the daughter that he was hospitalized, instead we heard things from the hospital staff and people affiliated with Jamie, not necessarily related, but just people who are in the know, then it would have been like, oh my God, but that she wanted to, I think the family or whoever's in control of this wanted to maintain the control of the situation. So they put the statement out first. Now, when I mentioned that the friend came out and said, put a Instagram post, I think it was, to say, we want you back, Jamie. Prayers, everybody pray for Jamie. And I think maybe someone else who knew Jamie put something out to make it seem as if he was gone or close to. And so right after that was when we got the Instagram post from Jamie's account. So it seems like every time there's a threat of anything else leaking, they themselves will come forward and post something, whether it be the daughter or him or whatever. But Queen Keish, maybe he's in rehab. But Queen, if he's in rehab, wouldn't he be up and alert? You got to be up and alert to be in a rehab, right? And with that said, like I'm going to go back to saying, this guy is a movie star. He was on set of a film. They've been replacing him with a stunt double or stunt doubles so they could get that thing wrapped up without him. Wouldn't you think, especially somebody like a Jamie Foxx, who he has stories of how he, was so desperate to get into the music industry. They wouldn't let him in because of his role on In Living Color as Wanda. He got made fun of. Basically, you're just a comedian, or you're just a whatever. But he ended up having to kind of like, I guess, court Puffy, or P. Diddy, Puffy at the time, Sean Combs, in order to get his foot in the door. And I think Sean, there's a story about that. I think I played it on the last video. But with all that said, Jamie Foxx is going to want to preserve, if he's up and about and in rehab and he's alert, he would have hopped on his phone at this point and did a quick video with all the speculation as well as the love and support that's going on for him on these internet streets. He's definitely going to come out because he's going to want to protect his brand. He is a brand. So, like I said, being replaced on your film and all of these things, this is something he's going to want to, let everybody know, Hollywood especially, that he's good, because he wants to continue to get booked for movies and things and opportunities. As a Hollywood person or brand celebrity, it's very, very important for you to make sure everybody knows you good, you healthy, you're okay. Because otherwise, you're going to lose out. Nobody's going to call you. You're going to drop. It's so quick to be lost in the sauce when it comes to Hollywood celebrity. You're up 1 minute and down the next. I was watching this, more so listening to, but this Hulu documentary on Aaron Carter. I don't know if you guys, anybody old enough to remember Aaron Carter, who was the younger brother of Nick Carter from Backstreet Boys. But yeah, he passed away. Actually, he passed pretty much right after takeoff of Migos. And I believe it was of a drug overdose. But this documentary was so just sad and sick, and it just really gives you an inside view of Hollywood and how it just can eat you up and spit you right out. Okay. Marcus, what's going on, King? It's been so long. Man, I miss y'all. I need to get better. That's why I need an assistant because I really need to get better at posting when I'm gonna come on my social medias and things like that. Somebody asked me today, why don't you post the stuff you post on your like TikTok and your YouTube shorts and stuff? Why don't you post that on Instagram? And I'm like, you know what? No real reason. It doesn't make sense. I know, but anyway, I appreciate you, Marcus. Marcus, one of my date ones. So back to Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx, this situation is just odd because, like he said, why, maybe he's in rehab, and like again, we're all guessing. We're all left guessing. And for anybody who's just joining, I'm mentioned that I'm going to be pulling my cards. I pull tarot cards. I used to do it here on YouTube, but I'm going to do that for Jamie Foxx this evening. I would have to do a meditation first so I can tap in to spirit and feel and get the feels and get the vibes. So, but I'm going to go ahead and do that and see what comes up. Because if y'all remember, I started off doing tarot cards on here on YouTube with the R. Kelly situation after the surviving R. Kelly. And everything I said was going to happen played out. Here we are for almost 5 years later. So, yeah, shout out to me. Shit. Damn. Yeah, definitely everybody hit the like button on this. Thank you so much for being here. It's Saturday, and I'm not really pressed for time unusually. So I'm just going to take my time with this. So Jamie Foxx, yeah, cue the background music. Wayne, I'm going to drop the link in case you want to come up, because I know, or anybody, if anybody wants to join me and speak some thoughts, views, opinion on Jamie Foxx, come on up. Thank you, Carmen. It is interesting, right? Like if you please end up in a rabbit hole as I have with regard to this Jamie Foxx stuff, it is really interesting. Now, going back to what he said in this particular TikTok, Oprah called him after, okay, so he starred in the movie Ray about Ray Charles, right? And thank you for the cash app, boo. Yes. But yeah, Ray Charles, the movie, Jamie was excellent, right? He won an Oscar for that. And it was the first time I think we saw him in full form, music, acting. He went beyond expectation, I think, and blew everybody away. So he said after the movie, after the Oscar and all that, and the hoopla is, he's on top of the world, right? So he's partying and doing the most. And he gets a call from Oprah Winfrey, who wants to put him in check, wants to let him know you are a part of the elite now. You are a part of a different level or a different type of folk. And I want to introduce you to these people. So, yeah, he said they ended up at a party. And it just kills me to think of Oprah taking Jamie Foxx to a party. But Oprah, I think just to know the full Oprah would be mind blowing in itself. We've heard a lot of things about Oprah, good and bad, but Oprah is Oprah, and when Oprah calls, you gonna take the call, right? So Jamie took the call. He went to the party. He said she introduced him to Quincy Jones. Now Quincy Jones himself he's a big figure as well, a big reputation, a lot of stories around him too. I know you guys know who Quincy Jones is, right? I can't be, you guys can't be that young, but Quincy Jones, just a part of music, big way, black music, I'll say R&B, with jazz. I don't know how he started. Was it jazz? But he has done a lot of work, okay? And he has a crown on his head in the industry. So, when you hear things about him, such as the rumor that he literally approached Tupac when Tupac was dating his daughter at the time, Kadada. And asked him, Tupac, if he could put his mouth on him, child, in the lower region. I'm gonna just say that. And I do believe. Oh, you can't pay me either. You want me to pay it for you? I don't know if I could pay that for you, Michelle. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know if it works like that, babe. You got to pay that through YouTube. Click the join button. You said you can't do it for some reason. I don't. We'll talk about it offline. Just can you send me an email, love? Okay. Oh, you're young and you know Quincy. Okay, good, Carmen. Thank you, Carmen, for engaging. I don't know what the hell is going on. It's Mercury retrograde. It's all kinds of planetary movements happening, and it's binding up a lot of people. And it also has people in a tizzy. And I'm one of them people. I went off on somebody today. I didn't even know where that came from. I was like, okay, I was a little annoyed, but I wasn't mad. But it came out that I was mad. So anyway, so yeah, Quincy Jones supposedly asked Tupac, if he could give him a little dome, and Quincy Jones, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. These old dudes in the industry are the most notorious when it comes to that type of, like predatory behavior. This is how most of them were brought into the industry themselves. It would be interesting actually to know how Quincy Jones himself got into the industry, like what was his journey coming in, and what type of people did he come across, or what gatekeepers did he have to impress or please or do for in order to get in. Yeah. But yeah, so he's at this party, Jamie Foxx. Quincy Jones is talking him up. He's like, wow. And Oprah pulls him to the side, like, okay, now you ready to meet the one that's gonna knight you? Knight you. So this is basically a ritual that they're doing right here. They're initiating Jamie Foxx. So Jamie Foxx basically let us know that he was initiated into the industry by Oprah, Quincy Jones, and Sidney Poitier. And who knows who else was at that party. I'm sure a lot of other people were at that party, other notable people. But yeah, so he let us know. So right there, we know that he was knighted into the elite part. There's levels to it, right? Like with everything. And Jamie made it. Okay. So you can't argue that he was in the in crowd, the in circle. Like the lady said on the video here, eyes wide shut. And with that said, he knew a lot of things. Now, we talked about this on my last live, and if you want to hear more about this, because I'm just going to touch on it now, go back to that live. But just to talk about how Jamie himself became a gatekeeper, given the Hollywood parties at his house, starting out with, I think he said it would cost him $40 to impress, or I'm sorry, $400 to impress Diddy with a party, because he found out Diddy had paid $1.5 million for a party where Jamie was at. Jamie said it was a damn good party, but $1.5 million. He was like, let me show you what you could do on a hood budget, okay? A Hollywood budget, not Hollywood. And he said he did it for $400. Put the KFC on nice plates. And but the key to it was the people who he invited, the people who were at the time part of the cool crowd, the in crowd, the ones who had their finger on the pulse, the people who knew what was going on in the streets of Hollywood at the time, or who were not necessarily movers and shakers, but the people who made things beat in the city. So Menudo, of course I heard of Menudo. Oh, and the guy, I can't think of his name, that was head of them. He was definitely a big predator and groomer. But yeah, what was his name? Oh, it's coming to me. Let me know if you know, Carmen. But so Jamie Foxx and his affiliation with Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs has been coming up in conversation, and people say that even they have each of their Instagram pages no longer show each other following each other when they did before. I don't know. You know how people get into that part of things, like, oh, they stopped following each other, so that means they broke up, or they fighting or whatever. But we don't know what that really is. But the relationship between them is causing conversation because of the fact that there's video of Jamie telling people about how he met Diddy, went to this party Diddy hosted, and he basically let Diddy know, I'm gonna let you see how I do it. And Diddy took him up on the offer, showed up, and let him know he was in the city. And I want to see what you do. What it do? Let's see what you got. He said he threw the party. It was a hit. And I think once he got through Diddy, the gatekeeper Diddy, that he then was able to do more music industry related. He was able to get ushered in, right? When he met Kanye, that changed the game for Jamie Foxx because Kanye put him on Gold Digger, and I don't remember if Gold Digger was before or after the Ray movie, but Jamie was everything in music, TV. Remember the Jamie Foxx show, and you can't forget that he started on In Living Color, right? The infamous, the not infamous, but the classic variety show, I guess you could call it, In Living Color, which I recently found out actually bailed Fox out of debt and and we know that the show put a lot of people on, In Living Color. Let's see, Jamie Foxx, of course, being one. Who was the other one? Jim Carrey. Of course, the Wayans brothers, all of them, and the sister Kim. We all know them because of In Living Color. And me myself, I actually worked in the industry. One of my first jobs, and at a movie studio actually. And it was there was a party. I think they must have distributed the film. I'm trying to think what was the affiliation, but there was a party where Keenan was at because of I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. But all that to say is that I know what a big deal In Living Color was to Hollywood. To, like I said, Fox bailed them out of debt, put a lot of people on. Jennifer Lopez, how could I forget her? The Fly Girl, who is now an international star, right? Also, movie, music, fashion, all of the things. So, a lot of great things have sprouted from the beginnings of Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx himself put people on. He's talked about how he had Ed Sheeran on his couch for months and months, and Nick Cannon as a 13-year-old sleeping on his couch doing music and things like that, which I find weird. And I think that's one of the things that's kind of that big open secret of the kids of Hollywood. Some make it, some don't. Like I talked about Aaron Carter, the documentary they have going on with him on YouTube currently. And he was not a successful story. And Chris Brown was a child star as well. And he talked about how Diddy didn't even want him when he auditioned in the picture. He didn't like the way he looked, I guess. But he was 12 or 13 years old at the time. So we know Usher lived with Diddy when he was like 13 years old. And he saw all kinds of things. Saw and heard things he should have probably never seen or heard. So Jamie then being someone to also have teenagers couch. And not to say he took advantage of them in any type of way. I haven't really heard of any stories like that of Jamie, not meaning they never happened. Just saying, I ain't never heard no. Usually, my ear is usually to the streets on this type of stuff, and I ain't heard nothing inappropriate things about him like that. But the access that he could have provided to others like Diddy and who knows who else. I don't know if Jamie Foxx ever go with R. Kelly in any type of way either, because I ain't never heard of no stories about him and R. Kelly. But I'm just saying that just having a place where you're hosting parties and everybody knows your house to be the house for you to have these kids sleeping on your couch and living with you, there's a responsibility there for you to protect those kids, right? So that I don't know how that protection, how big or small it was. And and we see people like, like I said, Nick Cannon was young. He's somebody who's now himself kind of a gatekeeper, right? Because he has a platform where he provides up and comers opportunities. Meaning, what is the show? Can't think of it. The one where they do, they have a cruise and they come on and they have guests and they battle each other and they talk shit about each other and they make people laugh. I forgot what it's called, but you know the show Nick Cannon has. But and Chris Brown, the only reason he got stunted, I think, in his career is because of what happened with him and Rihanna. And we see where Rihanna is, right? Rihanna was a chosen one. We're told by Queen Bee herself, Beyonce, telling her husband, pick her over, like she's the one to really watch versus Tierra Marie, right? And Tierra Marie, who, she's kind of fallen off at this point. I mean, you can find her on Love and Hip Hop, if that counts. But yeah. So Hollywood, it's just something that it's different. But it's like I said, an open secret, a lot of this stuff. And it begs questions. Wild and Out. Thank you, Michelle. Wild and Out. Jamie Foxx's show, Wild and Out. Yeah. Thank you for that. But yeah, so with Jamie Foxx and his unknown condition and all the secrecy, now it's been probably at this point a couple weeks now, 3 weeks, I think, that he's been in the hospital. And that's a big secret to keep in Hollywood. I don't know if you guys remember, and this wasn't even a Hollywood star, but Wendy Williams, when Tasha K tracked down his side woman's hospital room, when she got her on the phone while she was in the hospital to prove that she was in the hospital having this man's baby. Like, I'm just saying, I think Jamie is a protected one, and that, for instance, this article from Yahoo Life, I think is just a PR article, very matter of factly. He's doing fine and he's improving, and sounds like somebody knows that at some point we will see Jamie Foxx back to life and normal. But is it the Jamie Foxx? Is it the Jamie Foxx that we knew prior to this situation? Because like I said, a lot of the talk is about cloning, and I know a lot of people think that's like super, super out there. And it kind of is, but when you really look into it and see that these things are actually being done, it's not so far-fetched. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, so 3 weeks. It's a big secret to keep in Hollywood. Now, I don't know about this whole, he did a police report, and he reported that somebody was trying to unalive him, and he was possibly poisoned while he was on the set of the movie, and all these things. I don't know if those things are true, but I think that it's hard to just look at this at face value to say, something happened to him medically, a heart attack or stroke or something, and he's in the hospital and he's improving and he may be even be in rehab, but we still haven't heard or seen from him. That as a normal person, that would be an acceptable narrative. But Jamie Foxx, the star, the celebrity that he is, the one we know him to be. Now, you got to keep in mind, Jamie Foxx, okay, so he started off on TV, right? He had, Living Color. He had his own show, The Jamie Foxx Show, where, what's her name came out of that? Bouvet. She's a actress now. I can't, Garcelle Bouvet, right? She came out of that as well. So he's putting people on early on. And he's been in movies, all kinds of movies, all good movies, researching. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he was in that. He's got an Oscar for Ray. He's, he had his own radio show. It was funny because I was reading about him and Howard Stern having their feud at one point. But then Howard Stern had him on his show. That's when Howard Stern had his radio show, was really big. But Jamie Foxx also had his radio show called The Foxhole. And Howard Stern tried to basically say that was an interesting name, Foxhole, and basically tried to expose him for being gay, which Howard Stern, of course, he's going to make that type of joke, because who else is going to think of the name Foxhole and think Foxhole? because I never thought that. And I used to listen to that show. I mean, of course, Jamie Foxx. So you think Fox, oh, that's a cute play on words. He could have used Foxtail or, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, that feud between him and Howard Stern was because Howard Stern came out and he said very disparaging things about actress Gabby Sidibe. I think that's how you say her name. Ola, if you don't get the hell out of my damn chat, because I already know you are another YouTuber and you've probably been blocked on your main channel. Can we, the mods, can we take care of this person, please? Everybody don't know about everything. Get the hell up out of here. Matter of fact, I'll take care of Ola myself. I don't know why. Okay. Somebody wants to come in here and act like they can bully me on my own channel. That makes no sense. Nevertheless, I done lost my train of thoughts. What was I saying? Jamie Foxx, Hollywood. Yeah, I don't remember where it was at. Thanks, Ola Oi. Let me tell you, let me just regroup and make sure I'm covering what I want to cover before I head up out of here. I wasn't too quick. She was on there for too long. Let's get it together. Snap, snap. But let's see. What did I say last before that person rudely interrupt me? If you could let me know in the chat. But otherwise, oh, thank you, Michelle. Ciao. I love you. So Gabby Sidibe. Yeah. So Howard Stern says some horrible things about her. The fact that I think Precious had just come out and it was, of course, a hit, right? Gabby bursts on the scene. And yeah, she's overweight. She's a big woman, right? A big black woman, I'll say. And but Howard Stern had a problem with that. And Howard Stern said, things like, she'll never ever work again in Hollywood. So I don't know why people are even pumping her up. This is only going to be the only role she'll ever get. Why is Oprah pumping up this fat black lady's head? Things like that. And Jamie got pissed and Jamie came back at him and they went at Howard Stern on his radio show. So it was like battle of the radio shows, And so that just shows you, though, that Jamie Foxx cares about people, about women, about black people, about black women. And that was one thing that stood out about Jamie Foxx compared to I would say, the Diddy's and the other people, even the Kanye's. Kanye, he's a whole different beast. But I'll say that Jamie Foxx, despite his Hollywood status, even though there's stories of him, even Howard Stern told a story when he went on Howard Stern, either during or after that beef which they didn't even acknowledge, but he interviewed him a couple times actually. And Howard Stern told a story about Jamie Foxx coming onto an airplane that he and his co-sidekick Robin were on. Jamie was the last one to get on the plane. He had a bodyguard, didn't make eye contact with people. He had an air about him, like, don't talk to me, don't look at me. And Jamie kind of admitted it. He laughed about it, but kind of was like, no, I just figured you got, you didn't want to be in your, be bothered. And he's talked about his own times of approaching people and getting embarrassed or like feeling like, oh, I shouldn't have did that. That was, maybe I should have held back. But nevertheless, just to say that Jamie didn't seem type person to have air about him in that way. I did talk about on my last live, me myself partying next to Jamie Foxx at a couple of Hollywood events. I was gonna say gigs, events. One in particular, I remember on the dance floor, and he was dancing. He was sweating up a storm, and I had to move away because I'm like, what in the hell? I mean, I knew it was not normal sweat. Okay, I was like, this dude is on something serious, and it was just a moment. I was like, okay, Jamie. And all that to say, Jamie was partying. Jamie's lifestyle was one for the books. I won't say was like he's not here anymore, but just was as in the back in the day. Now I know more recently, he's got grown children. His daughter's grown. I don't know how old his other daughter is, but I think they're both grown at this point. His oldest daughter, Corinne, actually stars with him on that Beat Shazam show. And them replacing him with Nick Cannon on that seems like that's going to be interesting, especially if his assumes her role as the co-star on the show. Like, how is that for you to, be on a show where your father has been replaced because he's in the hospital in real serious condition, apparently. We want to believe that Jamie Foxx is recovering and that he's doing well and that he maybe even be rehabbing. So, for me, I'm all about positive thoughts. I'm all about, manifesting what you focus on. And so that way means you need to keep things positive. You need to keep things on a higher vibration in order to, have things, and also visualization, visualize the things that you want to see happen. So with that said, hopefully Jamie knows all of this. His people know all of this, because this is what higher minded people know. I mean, I'm just saying, if you're a higher minded person, you already know these things. So with that said, I'm just wishing him, of course, a full recovery, speedy recovery at this point. I mean, it's been almost 3 weeks, and it's a worrisome situation because most people who come to go to the hospital, you're not in there for more than 5 days, a week. Even with the surgery, they send you home because they trying to keep those beds open. They need the patients for the money, right? It's always money at the end of the day. But somebody like a Jamie Foxx who has money, who's probably in a nice little suite, if they have those at the hospital where he's at, that's probably something that is not a concern for them. But also at the same time, he needs the care, obviously, because he also is somebody who might be able to set up something at the house. And, there was a story too that I put on my community wall that a neuropsychiatrist, I can't think of what the neurologist. Okay, there you go. That they were flying in a neurologist for Jamie. And that sounds real serious too, because Jamie obviously can't be transported, right? If he was well enough to be transported, then we would probably not be having this conversation right now. He probably would have already come on to his Instagram or, whatever platform to say, hey guys, I had a scare, but everything's A-okay. And I appreciate the prayers and the love. That's all we need to hear, and we move on, right? But because that's not the case, the speculations continue, the conspiracies continue to swirl, and the TikTokers continue to TikTok. And of course, the YouTubers continue to YouTube. Shout out to B and the others. But all that to say, shout out to you, Jamie Foxx. And, hopefully the next story will be that, we have heard from you. All right. So I do want to touch on Jaguar Wright real quick. Speaking of hearing from somebody, like I said, that video on my short story has over 3 million views. People will have a real concern for Jag. Not to say all the people who view the video are concerned for her, but a lot of the comments say that people are concerned. Let me pull up. Now I had to whittle these things down because they're on her own YouTube channel. She has the arrest video that got all these views is actually from her YouTube channel, and I just whittled it down to a short. Let me find it actually. Here it is. 3.3 million, babe. Okay, I'm gonna share this tab. Let's play this video real quick.
Are you looking for me, officer? I'm in the middle of a live broadcast. My name is Jacqueline Suzette Johnson. And why are you looking for me, officer? I never lived in Mesquite, Texas.
Okay, well, right now, you have the right to remain silent. Can you say King?
They're reading me my rights.
You understand your rights already?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You have your ID on you?
No. My wallet is in my hotel room. I no longer live in Texas. I live here.
Okay.
I just got off the phone with DeSoto police, and they said they don't have no warrant out for my arrest.
It's your NCIC.
So what is NCIC?
It means that you want to enforce anywhere in the state.
A Class C misdemeanor? That's what I was charged with. Okay, guys, I think I have to go because I think they're going to arrest me now.
So that was that. And that was the last time she posted because she's still in jail. So I'm going to show the update that Sean Davy Wade posted that I had to whittle on down to a minute for these shorts. Hey y'all, it's Jaguar Wright calling in with an update on her arrest.
I've been threatened to be killed 5 times, restricted, not having any contact with the outside world. Right now we're in the middle of the criminal investigation for the terroristic threats against me, the lascivious, verbal assaults, and so on and so forth. And all of those are under investigation, and I will be filing federal charges when I leave here and suing this place for the violation of my 14th Amendment right. Being a bisexual woman, and I met someone. She's actually really cool, but we caught a lot of hate. When you book in, they ask you, what your pronouns are. I'm like, I'm a bisexual. I kind of just feel like God's secret shopper because there are so many women in here that need help. I'm going to do what I do, and I'm asking y'all where I would appreciate the love.
Okay, well, the full video is on Sean Davy Wade's channel, and yeah, hopefully she will be getting out soon, Queen. Sounds like she can be bailed out, and she's working with people on getting bailed out. So hopefully once she's out on bail, she stays out. But she's going to have some courts and dates and things to probably go to. Now, if you listen to the full video, and you can actually hear some of it on this edited version, but, she's saying a lot of stuff. She's saying that, she's suing these people federally as well as sounded like locally, as well as the fact that she met a woman in there and she's, saying that they asked their pronouns and she's bisexual. She's got a lot going on in this video chat. But I think also she said something about there's a lot of things going on with regard to these women and they need help. The women that she's in the jail with, and she feels like she's been, I guess ordained by God to be there to try to help the people. So the good news is she's okay. And it looks like she's safe and she's fine. So, that's the update on Jaguar Wright. I don't know what that video shocked me that it's still going. It's like the one everybody comments on. It has so many comments, but I'm appreciative of the engagement, But, also, what else would I want to talk about? Oh, I said I wanted to talk about Power Book 2 and Dear Mama. Let's talk about Tupac's Dear Mama. Anybody who else is watching that? It's a docuseries on Hulu as well as FX, and it's an excellent documentary because they show a lot of footage, more footage of him and real life events that happened with him, as well as interviews. I think his aunt Glo, who is Afeni's, his mother's sister, who was there the whole time as well. She's on a lot of the footage, and she's not narrating, but they're interviewing her. I believe his dad speaks. There's who are interviewed, and let me just see. I think this. Okay, so let's just talk about the actual docu-series. So Tupac, he was a dynamic man, young, of course, when he passed. I believe he was 25 years old, which is, just now really fully developed brain, especially for a man. They develop a little later mentally, but it's a young age to go. And in that short time frame that we had him here, he gave us a lot. He did a lot. I'm going to read what they say about this docuseries and we'll talk about it. But it says, in what is perhaps long overdue, the life contributions of Tupac and Afeni Shakur get the docuseries treatment in Dear Mama. Arguably the most prolific rapper to date, Tupac's legacy extends far beyond his impact on music. Yes, he sold over 75 million records, was the first solo hip-hop artist to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and has written lyrics that countless people around the world can recite. However, he was also heavily in tune with many society and lent his voice to championing the cause of the disenfranchised. It's this social activism component of his life that he undoubtedly inherited from Afeni. His mother was a well-known political activist and a member of the Black Panther Party, who certainly was not above fighting for well-worthy causes. So there's been 4 episodes so far, and what they've said so far and what they've covered on him is enough for any grown man to have done in a lifetime. But Tupac, he was in his mother's womb while she was incarcerated, and she was acquitted. She and the Panthers, who were also being charged of all of these, heinous terrorist type crimes, were acquitted like right before he was born. So he was incarcerated in her belly with her, and then she was freed and he was born. And I think as a soul, he came into the world, and he chose Afeni because he himself is a warrior, it's a fighter, and he came in because he wanted to lend his voice, and he did just that. He did just that. So people like him are not easily forgotten, but they are forgotten. And I think that this documentary or docuseries is a great tribute to him and his mother. And I think his mother getting the shine that she's getting on what she has done is also very powerful. I think that everybody, needs to watch this docuseries and get an insight into who Tupac really was as a man, as a young man. A lot of people, because of the thug life tattoo on his across his stomach, and because of some of the lyrics and the clashes with police, and of course he had the R-word charge that he did time for, and all these things that kind of clouded him. The fact that he was an amazing, not just talent, but person. The things he stood up for, the people he stood up for, the songs that were so impactful, Dear Mama being one of them, which is the name of the docuseries. But so many. Brenda Had a Baby. I think that was the first one, and which was based on a true story that he read about, and it impacted him so tough that he wrote about it. And, so he's just somebody that, we hold dear to us. And, I'm just encouraging everybody to check this thing out. It was so much that I learned that I can't even begin to, I would love to start reviewing TV shows and movies, but I would literally have to write everything down because my memory, it just doesn't serve that type of purpose. But I would just say I did learn a lot of things that I didn't know. I knew a lot about him, more so probably about his mother and the background with her and the Panthers. But, it's just a shame that the government was able to interfere in such a way with the movement and criminalize people who are really just trying to uplift and support their community. I think it's those types of anger me. Like when I watched the show Snowfall. I don't know if you guys watched Snowfall, which was an excellent series that just recently ended. R.I.P. John. Oh my God. My mind literally went blank on the director's name, the creator of the show, but who passed away. But anyway, RIP to him for creating the show, and for the staff or for the crew who carried it on to the end, even though people say it changed after John passed. Singleton, of course, John Singleton. But the way the government interfered, the show was really about how Franklin Saint, at the time he was a student in high school. Love Warrior. Yes. Hey, love. I'm just kind of diverting the snowfall for a second, but Franklin Saint, who was at the time a high school student, or just getting out of high school, trying to figure out what he was going to do with his life, and who wanted better for himself, for his family. I think for everybody. I think he was like could have possibly been a young Tupac had he had gone a different route, but he had the mind, right? And the government interfering in life, in Black life, the way they have, linking up, and the way he got with Franklin, the CIA agent who eventually ended up giving him the product to where they eventually made crack from the cocaine, shipping it in, and just all this just destructive behavior from the government, who even to this day, I read something about the show where they said that this part of the show was fictional, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, I thought Freeway Rick Ross told us that he was dealing with a government agent, and he's lucky to be alive today. He did time for trafficking, and even though the government was conspiring with him, and that to me is the travesty. The government itself needs to be held accountable for what they've done to us. And I say us as a Black person, because, when you affect a large number of people in a community the way that crack did, you debilitate those people generationally. And they took out a lot of people. They damaged a lot of people. A lot of families were broken. There's still things that are happening to people today because of generations back, where the crack era came in, or a generation or so, however many generations it was. In the 80s, I think is when it started. But I remember seeing it all around. And it wasn't nothing pretty. So the fact that, the government was able to come in and do that, they made a show about it, showing everybody everything that's going on, yet we still, continue to live as we do and do what we do. And just real quick, back to Jamie Foxx, and that's the thing about what I'm saying, him supposedly saying to the, giving a police report about the fact that he was, being threatened to be unalived, or somebody was trying to unalive him. And the fact that we kind of know, like I said, an open secret about Hollywood and how they operate and how they deal with people. But yet we just live our lives like kind of none of our business. But also it's kind of like, those people over there, because we're not a part of, I don't know who's listening, so I can't say we as a whole, but most of us aren't in the end parts of Hollywood or in Hollywood to know, what's really going on behind those curtains and things like that, and to actually make a difference and do something about it or say something about it. And anytime somebody does try to, we know they get demonized, like the Jaguar Wright, who we just showed, who's now incarcerated. A lot of people in the comments say she's incarcerated because she's a truth teller, and she was telling on people like, Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z and, all the other people she kind of outed with a lot of her stories. If you don't know who Jaguar Wright is, she has a YouTube channel, and I don't know if all her videos are still up. She also has, if you just search her on YouTube, you'll find so many different videos of things that she said and all of that. But the truth tellers are the ones that end up getting demonized in the press, made to look like, they're crazy or on drugs or unstable, like the Orlando Browns, and even some say Jamie Foxx. But I'll even say Kim Porter, who was Diddy's baby's children's mother before she passed, was said to have been writing a book. They say that the guy that was killed that she was dating, who was in the industry, I can't think of his name, who was beat up by Diddy, even though he was dating Jennifer Lopez at the same time, didn't want nobody dealing with Kim and beat that guy up. And then that guy ended up supposedly committing suicide, but most people have figured out that it was more so he was taken out. Okay, but he supposedly was writing a book. If you know Al B. Sure, who is Diddy's, they say adopted son. I don't know if Diddy actually adopted him, but he could have, but he raised him. But he's Al B. Sure's son, who was a living man. So people question why he took his son like that under his wing. Al B. Sure let us know he was married to Kim Porter at one time, and that Quincy and him did reunite. They look just alike. Al B. Sure is a singer, and Al B. Sure was recently in a coma for a couple months. He was almost unalived, and he supposedly was going to be in the middle of, or starting to make a documentary of his life. So there's a lot of things happening that go around, like Diddy, and people who just don't want people to out their secrets. So but with social media and the way it's set up, these secrets are coming out, and people are seemingly even sacrificing themselves to just tell it. And unfortunately, though, we as the public have been groomed to dismiss these people, or shake our heads and just wow, that person, I feel sorry for that person, but not take them seriously and not take their word for what it is. And that is unfortunate. And maybe at some point that will change. We have to, maybe at some point, when do we start believing people? I know a lot of times we just say, give us some proof, but a lot of times there is no proof. So a lot of times there just isn't proof. But that could be another thing social media could help us with, is getting people caught, I guess you could say. And we do see a lot of that, actually, especially with these Karens and things like that. But yeah, Dear Mama is definitely something to watch. And then I was going to talk about BMF. Who else is watching Power Book 2? I said BMF. I meant Power. BMF, I think, is over for the season. Let's see. A lot of YouTubers cover this and do recaps on this show. Okay, I'm just trying to look up some of the names of the people. Is this season 3? Wow, Wayne.
Wow.
What's going on, Wow Wayne?
Man, your channel is blowing up. What's going on over here? Dum diddy jam.
It's the power of Jaguar Wright.
Over here.
Oh, you got your volume up or something. Hear an echo.
What's up, chat? What's up, everyone in the chat room? What's going on? Like, share, and subscribe. Oh, wow. Yes.
So, you have anything good you want to say on some of the stuff we've already talked about? I talked about Jamie Foxx. I talked about Dear Mama, Jaguar Wright. Any of those things?
Oh, you doing a perfect job. You don't need no help.
Oh, not asking for help, boo. Just wondering if you got an opinion, though. You could speak without having to help me.
Wow. Oh no, I'm speechless at the moment.
Oh, I'm trying to. What season of the Power we're in currently? Okay.
I don't.
Let me just. All right. So, do you watch Power or no?
Oh yeah, I got to check out the new season. Mary J. Blige, she's doing a good role as a drug dealer, but I got to investigate more on the program. Oh
Mary J.
yeah.
Blige, the drug dealer. Yes. Monet Tejada. So yeah, we got Tariq, who we know came from Power. He was the son of Ghost, right? And he's now the new Ghost, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's like 8 episodes in. It's a lot of episodes in at this point. I think it's 8. But at this point, I mean, the feds are on them. They were on them for Rico. I'm not trying to do no spoiler alerts, but I'm just saying, like, there's been a lot going on. We got Jamie, whose father built this investment firm that one of the sons is running, and he done made it into a Ponzi scheme. I mean, it's a lot of intrigue. We got Lauren, who was supposed to be unalive, and now she's back. And child, people are not happy about that. So it's a lot going on. But this last episode had my mouth open. I mean, a lot of things happen, but Method Man seems to have come out as the hero, at least in the acting part of the show, because he had a scene. I think it was at the end. Yeah, at the end of the episode where his brother just went crazy. I don't want to tell because y'all might be still. It just came out, so I don't want to give you guys all the juice. But I'm just saying he did a hell of a job acting. Method Man did. Shout out to Method Man. He looks good too. Michelle's telling it all. She said Effie got arrested. Well, they arrested her, but they let her right back out. They didn't actually. Oh yeah, they did arrest her at the end. That's right. They did arrest her for Lauren's death. I wasn't gonna tell it, but we done told it now. We done told it.
So I don't know all the characters yet, so you got to rewatch it or watch it. Yes.
Yeah, you gotta watch it because if you ain't watching, so you must not have been watching it at all then, because they've been in the previous seasons. Lauren,
Oh,
the girlfriend from his college, he was like the sweetheart, and then Effie came and she was like, "Oh, we got to get rid of this house," and it's just a lot, and I can't begin. I don't have any like reference in this moment to talk to you about what the episode in detail, but I just want to know who else is watching this. Let me see what it says here. This was just posted. With only 3 episodes of the latest season left to go, things are certainly heating up for Michael Rainey Jr. Tariq St. Patrick. Oh, Michael Rainey Jr. is his actual name. All right. While it may be sad news for fans that the current season is wrapping up, there's no need to worry as Power Book 2 Season 4 has already been confirmed. Okay, so we do have a Season 4 coming. Will it mean that many of the well-recognized characters of this current season will go into the 4th? If there's anything we know about Power, it's that the series is simply unguessable. So it's saying that they're already filming in New York, and Michael Ealy is going to be joining the series as a regular role as a leader of an elite NYPD drug task force. Oh, Michael Ealy, okay. So we're going to see him face up against Mary J. Blige's character, probably. Could he be Tariq's next ultimate nemesis? Let's see. For now, season 3 continues to deliver twists and turns aplenty as new dangerous situations fall upon Tariq, with recent episodes delivering a shock death and startling revelations that continue to shake up Tariq's personal and business relationships. But when can we expect the new episodes to land and where? Blah, blah, blah. We don't know.
wow.
So here's the gang. So yeah, so Effie and what's his name? Kane been hooking up, child. She used to look at him like he was dirt on her shoe, but he
Uh-oh.
paid some college tuition. I'm just saying. That seems to be, the way he got into her. Will I say heart? I'll just say her bed. But
You're,
because he found out that she didn't tell him and lied to him. Braden.
God is done. You are coming in and out. Maybe it's me. You're pausing. Hold on, I'm gonna drop down for a minute. It might be me.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Dum dum diddy jam.
Jam. Who uses people, Michelle? She be using people. You talking about Effie? Oh yeah, I guess you could look at it like that too. That she just uses people. she did come in. Tariq was dating Diane. Well, not really dating. I think Diane liked him, and he wasn't really into her like that. But she wasn't always the best actress, the girl that plays Diane. But she's grown on me, especially the way she handled that fake Muslim guy. But Braden, he actually can't keep a secret. He told the world, well, he told the new investor, or he told Tariq, I'll just say that. Tariq spilled the beans about the Ponzi scheme they got going on at that firm. And that's like a serious situation because people have gone to jail. What was his name? Bernie Murdoch. I can't think of that guy's name. Not Bernie.
Oh, damn.
You still here?
Oh, damn. I didn't even know I'm still here. I guess I'm still good then.
What's the guy's name? Do you remember the guy who was he was the head of a Ponzi scheme, but Murdoch, I think was his last name. God, I can't think of that guy's name. And he was the first one I think we saw publicly get charged and arrested in jail for the Ponzi scheme, as a rich person to end up in prison for scamming people. Like, that's crazy.
Miss Michelle Hurd said you're right. Well, tomorrow is the season still open? I mean, it's because every Sunday it's supposed to come on. I don't know if it's still come on.
What season?
The new season.
Well, it just came on last night. It comes on Fridays.
Oh, I thought it come on Sundays.
Well, no, it comes on Friday.
Oh, okay.
So next Friday is the next episode. There is a next episode because I had a preview for it. It looks intense. So I'll come back and talk about it if I can get into my head to actually, make note of what the hell happened. But yeah, it's a good show. I actually enjoy it. It's something entertaining. It's not like award worthy or anything, but it's for the culture. So
do you know that 50 Cent got a new series out?
50 what? What's the series? I don't think so.
It's hit him up. Oh wow. I gotta come back to you on that one now. I don't know it yet. Hold on,
I know he bought a warehouse that he's gonna turn into a studio. He's gonna do a Tyler Perry on us here. He's gonna be actually creating movies and opportunities for people as well. I'm sure even where the studio is gonna be located. I want to talk about Ebony K. Williams before I get up out of here. You guys, you know who Ebony K. Williams is? Wayne, she went by this week with an interview that she did with Iyanla Vanzant.
No.
She told Iyanla, let me just play it real quick. Let me just play it. I think this is the clip. Wait, hold on. Let me go to the post.
It's 50 Cent new series called BMF.
Wayne, BMF is in its second season. It just ended its second or third season. That's the show I told you to. Didn't I tell? Oh no, I was telling you to watch Snowfall. But yeah, no, BMF. Yes, we've been watching BMF. Okay, I'm about to play this clip from Ebony K. Williams.
About across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum. Trust me, I've done them all. They are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. Incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver?
Wait, I'm gonna pause this real quick because Mark Dark, I do watch Mark Dark as well sometimes when I want to hear what other people are saying about the show or whatever. But Mark Dark TV on YouTube, I'm gonna just shout him out because he goes real in depth on his reviews and he talks about upcoming, like what to expect on the next episode. And sometimes you don't even have to watch the show. You could just listen to Mark Dark. Or there's also Ashley Miller. I listen to Ashley Miller as well. She does really good reviews too. But Mark Dark really does a good job with the Power series. And so definitely, Michelle, I'm with you on that. Now, let me get back to Ebony. So as you heard, Iyanla just asked Ebony K. Williams, would you date a bus driver? Let's listen.
You. Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date a bus.
I know that you've said that you cannot teach a man or tell a man how to be a man. So I will not ask you to indict men in this question. But I do want you to speak, Iyanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Okay, so that's what prompted the question, would you date a bus driver? So personally, like, I feel like she got a lot of flack for this statement, for saying, if he owns the bus. What do you think about this, Wayne, as a man, actually? I don't know what type of work you do, but what do you think about what they're saying about, I guess Iyanla's saying you can't judge a man by that alone, which is true. But what does that make you feel when you hear that?
Well, if I was a bus driver, oh, wow. Oh, yeah, I don't know. To me, it wouldn't be about the job of the woman.
Well, that's actually a good point too, because that's my thought is that too. It's like, isn't it an individual thing, not necessarily the job they do, unless you're strictly looking at income, and you have to think about it or just know that Ebony is an attorney, and I think she's a millionaire based on what they've been saying, as far as her earning. Her earning history, she's earned like $600 to $650K a year on some of her gigs. She was on Real Housewives of New York on the last season. Matter of fact, I think she took that show down by basically making these women face blackness. And I kind of applaud her for that, even though I did like the show. And I kind of like, damn, the show's gone, because Ebony K. Williams can't put her foot on it. So she's saying that to say she's a strong woman. She's also a very vocal person. This is why she's hosting for the Griot. But her opinion on dating a bus driver is probably going to be different from just the average person based on who she is. And that's what her opinion is going to be based on, who she is as a person, what she does for a living, what her lifestyle is like. Like when you're matching yourself with someone, lifestyle compatibility, I would say, is important.
Well, I'll put it like, if the family could put the money into together as well as the family, shouldn't matter. Bus driver, garbage man, garbage woman, or whatever.
And
so,
like I said, I think it's person to person thing. It's person to person, because the bus driver could be somebody outside of his job. Exactly. Michelle says stereotype. Outside of his job, this person could be a match for her in other ways. He could be, I don't know what her things that she likes to do in life, but just say like she likes to read, she likes long walks in the park, she likes this, she likes that. And maybe outside of his bus driving job, he also indulges and enjoys those things. And although as a couple, you don't have to everything match up, like, it's different, opposites attract a lot of times. So somebody who's into one thing may not, sometimes you learn from your partner to like things, or maybe to double down on not liking things. But I'm just saying that's not always what makes the relationship. So, but somebody in the comments said maybe this is why Ebony is single. But this went viral, but it could have been more so because of what happened after this. And I'm going to play that, which was on The Breakfast Club. And I think that's on Well, she responded here. Let me just play her response and then I'll. Where's the Breakfast Club one at? I thought that was on here. Hold on. Let me find that first. I think that goes next. Are they on Instagram? Oh, you know what? It would have been on the Shade Room for sure. Let me see. Here it is.
I will say this, to Envy's point of...
Well, let me go to the post here. Come on.
I will say this, to Envy's point of our people not knowing, I agree with you, which is why I am so incensed and I'm so committed to having this conversation. Right now, if y'all, you single family homeowners, if you need a tree cut from your yard, that truck that's going to cut it down is not cranking for less than $5,000.
That's right.
So we have to talk about those things. And so y'all can get stuck in mediocre and average and the terminology and your hurt feelings if you want to. I suggest you get out of those feelings and you start thinking about heating and air. You start thinking about, oh, what would it look like to be an electrician and own my own bed? And again, in ownership, not working for a salary job.
Oh, wait, it says see previous. Sorry. Okay.
I feel like you changed it. I feel like you about was what you said, and everything that you said could absolutely positively be true. People were upset that they felt like that you were putting down the average person, quote unquote average job, and the person that was working the average job, that their what they do is not as good as what you do.
That's a projection, Envy.
No,
Envy, that's a projection. Because
I'll let you speak. Let me talk.
Go ahead, Envy. Yeah.
So when you start talking about all this, and I read the comments just like you did, because I wanted to prepare myself when you came up here to understand what people were mad about, and understand what people were upset about. So when you're talking about all this brother this and the black man this and the white supremacy this and this, that, and the other, that's all to the side of how you felt about that quote unquote average job, right? And I'll be honest with you, right? And one of the comments that I said, and maybe I'm not sure, right? The guy was like, you talk about all this about lifting the brother up and lifting this up and white supremacy and what you do for our people. And then the first thing the brother said was, but your fiance was white. And I'm sitting there like, how do you talk about how much you're uplifting and how much you're going for black people, but that's not necessarily what you're even looking for?
Well, first of all,
paging Dr. Umar, damn.
Well, let's address it. And let's not skip a beat. So I would love to know how you, Envy, know what I'm looking for, because we never had the conversation.
I don't know. I'm telling you what people are saying on comments, what I've read, and I'm talking to them. I'm not a bus driver. I'm speaking for the average person out there, because I feel for them, because the bus drivers and the average person are what keeps these lights on here on the Breakfast Club.
That's right.
They keep me booking shows.
Nobody is saying, okay, first of all, this is not about you booking shows.
I'm just telling you how I feel. So when you shit on the people that
first of all,
ride with me,
Envy, you're dead ass wrong for framing it as me shitting on them.
You don't think I was shitting on them?
I know it. First of all, I know it wasn't. I think what you're saying right now is irresponsible. I think what you're saying is irresponsible. Envy, I think what you are framing right now in this moment is highly irresponsible. Because if you listen, I'm going to tell you. Because if you were to listen to all of the full Yana interview, the full sidebar, the full episode of Holding Court, nowhere in any of that commentary did I say a cross or negative word about the working class of Black America, of America broadly, or Black men. I'm going to get to the why was my fiance. Envy, let me finish this statement.
Do you know what people feel? Just because you didn't mean to hurt somebody, just because you didn't mean to affect somebody doesn't mean you didn't hurt a community. I can say anything about somebody and be like, I didn't mean to hurt you. But if you hurt people, you hurt people. If people feel a way about you, they feel a way about you, because those people that you talked about are the people that buy your books, that listen to this show, and they're hurt.
Ebony, what about words like average, mediocrity, typical, and the bigotry of low expectations? I think those are the words that hurt the word.
You can sit here and say, no, why do you hurt people out there that buy your books and follow you and support you?
You asked me to be quiet. Y'all, please. Y'all asked me to be quiet. I listened to your full statement. I understand you have a feeling about it.
22 minutes, and I just spoke for 60 seconds.
She is here to talk to him.
I know, but
we got ours off already. Let Ebony talk.
I'm just returning what she said. But don't act like I didn't let her speak. She spoke for 22 minutes.
Go ahead, Ebony. Let her talk. Don't do that. Let her go. Go ahead.
So, Envy, this is where we're different. My primary focus and goal when I do what I do in the world is not to protect feelings. I'm going to be candid with you. I understand it's clear from the energy that there is an emotional attack that you felt was on Black men, the working class, and Black America. I'm going to hold the space for the hurt feelings around that. But more than I care about hurt feelings, I care about providing my people with facts and information that say that the current way of life for the majority of Black Americans is not serving us. I'm going off of the data and the facts. I am not okay, and I don't think it's okay, that the vast majority of Black Americans, again, overpopulate, disproportionately occupy spaces that are not ideal, that make us vulnerable. I talked about the COVID, that make us vulnerable to death, disease, maternal health, all the things that y'all all talk about on this show every day. Now, if y'all are okay with the current positioning of Black America, that we are the lowest income ownership, the lowest educated group, then so be it. And let's just stop talking now and keep on going about our business. Envy, I'm not okay with it. So that is why I said what I said about addressing the bigotry of low expectations. It's the bigotry of low expectations is the reason why I have to submit that Black men are now going to HBCUs and college and generally at half the rate of Black girls and women. I don't think that's okay.
Shouldn't we address the system that put us in these positions?
We are addressing the system, but first we have to name it, Charlemagne. See, that's where people's feelings are getting hurt, is the fact that I am naming it. I am saying that it is not okay to bring C's and D's to your home and then expect to go on to higher education and acquire a higher skill set. And when you say that, that is hurt for people, Envy. I'm acknowledging the pain. But somebody has got to start telling the truth to our people. And some of y'all wonder why you get the political representation y'all get, because some folks would rather hear things that make them feel good than understand and hear the things that are the truth.
I feel like you're changing the goalposts, right? What people were upset about was what you said, and everything that you said could absolutely positive.
That was a lot. I thought I had zoned out. Did you listen to all that?
Wow. Yeah. She was like people with C's and D's. Hey, look, these people out there are trying to get in a good education as well. So, like, I understand what Jermaine,
Charlemagne.
I understand what he's saying, but don't downgrade the people who getting B's and C's in the situation over the accomplishment of people with the A's and B's. That's my opinion, but
Yeah, no, I hear you. There's actually a lot. There's a couple more that are going to her clarifying. Do we need to hear? I don't know if I want to hear that. Let me just be thorough, because there are some people, because I know I watch videos of people doing things like this and they say, I don't want to hear the rest. But I'm like, but I do. I want to. So let me just do it for the people. Let me see.
I will say this.
So this is the next thing following the one we just watched.
I will say this, to Envy's point of our people not knowing, I agree with you, which is why I am so incensed and I'm so committed to having this conversation. Right now, if y'all, you single family homeowners, if you need a tree cut from your yard, that truck that's going to cut it down is not cranking for less than $5,000.
That's right.
So we have to talk about those things. And so y'all can get stuck in mediocre and average and the terminology and your hurt feelings if you want to. I suggest you get out of those feelings and you start thinking about HVAC. You start thinking about heating and air. You start thinking about, what would it look like to be an electrician and own my own bed? And again, in ownership, not working for a salary job for somebody else unless that is your maximum skill set. So if you're somebody that says, hey, I don't want to take on the work, or I cannot take on the work of balancing the books and running the taxes and got it, no problem. Then go do that.
So those aren't average jobs.
It's around your skill set. It's not about the job being average. It's your skill set. If you know that, if C and D, back to the academics, if that is your best, God bless you. I just know for a lot of us, that is the bigotry of low expectations. That is an academic social science study done by a man named Michael Gerber. And it's important that we have expectations for our Black children that start at the top, to Mandy's point earlier, that says, I see the best in you. I expect the best in you. If you fall short of that, let's look at why that is. And then we go about the business of Black collaboration.
You told one big lie today.
What was that?
You are an entertainer. Because to be honest with you, nothing you said in this moment was wrong, but the clip that you put out,
it was salacious on purpose.
There's no way, Ebony, because what I believe you. I know you want better for us. I know that you're speaking from a place of honesty and love. But that clip was entertainment, and I think
I don't
one
think it
can't
was
exist without the other.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm not entertaining. You know, I can see, because of course that's a part of my personality. It's a part of the nature of the work. That's my whole career path. When you see what you're describing, is I'm taking deep intellectual capacity and I'm marrying it with personality and aesthetic packaging that is palatable for global consumption.
So basically, you kind of got to make them feel bad.
No, I don't have to make anybody feel bad. And, y'all can stay on that. Y'all can take that to the grave.
For them to read it, for them to want more.
My intention was never for anybody to feel bad. But to Envy's point, intention means nothing. If I step on your toe and I didn't mean to, your toe still hurts. So I'm not debating intention. Yeah. I'm saying it might have been painful, regardless of my intention. And yet, how do we move on from it? Because again, I'm not preoccupied. I'm not going to not say what I believe and feel for the sake of feelings.
I want to say, how do you feel about the American dream? And what I mean by that is the American dream is the belief that anyone, regardless of where they were born or what class they were born into, can attain their own version of success in a society which upward mobility is possible for everyone. So all of these jobs that we're talking about, that is those people's version of success. That is their American dream. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with them having that?
I think you know the answer. Nothing, Charlemagne.
Okay.
Nothing. Like, come on, we're talking circularly to Envy's point. There's nothing wrong with that. I am simply, he said it, there are people that don't know what's possible. There are people that don't know, man, I would love to have a salon. What does that take? Well, let me start an LLC. Well, maybe I need to convert to an S corporation. Maybe I need to do this. And so when we are so caught up with feelings, because we don't want people to feel bad, we don't want to call out what people don't have access to or knowledge around, I think it's stagnant.
I think we all agree with that. And what Envy's saying and what everybody else is saying is you can say all of that, and that's true, without calling people average, mediocre, typical.
But that's what it is.
Stuck in the expectations.
You know how more educated than me? If y'all asked me that question, I'd say, well, what do he look like?
Well, okay, that's fine. Yeah. Again, Charlemagne,
I just don't think those are words that should be used to describe the work.
And I think I think per the dictionary, and per the facts. So again, we spent 40 minutes talking about something that's very simple and unfortunate that this is really where we landed, Charlemagne, because we're talking about personal projections around defined words. That's really what this whole, and that's why brother is nodding.
But you can weaponize defined words.
But don't put that on me, because I'm not weaponizing it.
Whether you think you did or not, I told you I think you did.
Well, you can think whatever you want, Charlemagne.
And a lot of other people did too.
I don't care what. It could be Jesus Christ thinking it. I know what I said. I know what I said.
You better listen. For Jesus Christ, you better listen.
But
I do appreciate
better listen to Jesus.
That's right. Yeah, well, we thank you for
I appreciate the platform. I really do. But let's be very careful that we are not so blindsided, stuck, and regressive in our feelings that we're not able to hear clearly the facts and the truth. I will say this.
Okay, that was a lot, and I am not playing the rest of it. And there's a couple more. Y'all go to find that. Nisi Fan, what's going on, Ma? Happy Saturday. So yeah, Ebony K. Williams and this whole viral moment that she had. I had somebody actually ask me earlier if I was going to talk about it. I wasn't, but that's why I did, because I felt like it was viral. I guess I can't ignore it, but I didn't really think, I felt that personally it was just a personal opinion. If she don't want to date a bus driver unless he owns the bus, which could actually pay less, because if he owns the bus, depending on what type of ownership, is it just the one bus? Is he the only driver of the one bus? So he probably could make more if he did work for a company organization. I mean, you know what I'm saying? A bus company. He could make more, have better benefits, or, so
wow.
She is somebody who champions the Black community. Like I said, she took down, again, Real Housewives of New York with her Blackness all in their face all the time, making those white women uncomfortable. So this is her. This is her. But she is also, I won't say snobby, but she's just a different class of person. She carries herself differently. She has different expectations for the people that she puts in her life. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Maybe it was the way she delivered it. If she used the words mediocre, and I didn't hear that when I played the clip. Maybe I didn't play the right clip, but if she used those words, and yeah, that that's problematic, because you can't just call a group of people that because of the type of work they do, especially when it's legal, hard, real legit work. Not wrong with being a bus driver. She even said her mother, I think, was a bus driver. So she came from a bus driver salary. She grew up on that. That's crazy that she's now in a whole serious viral interview moment where she's, going back and forth. Matter of fact, it's two different ones. Her and Ayanla was one, and then her and the Breakfast Club. So I don't know. I just feel like that was fine for her to say for herself. I don't see. They said she posted it the way she did to get the controversy. And if that is the case, then she's a genius, a marketing genius. And kudos to her for being brilliant. But if this is just something she got caught up in because she fumbled her words, then, I think that's a different story. And either way, she got attention. And when you're in entertainment in Hollywood, she's in Hollywood. And you heard her say she told him, you listen to Jesus. I was like, ooh, I'm running from that. I'm running from that. That gave me a chill. But I'm just saying, we just talked about Hollywood and how Hollywood works. And we know any publicity is good publicity when it comes to being in Hollywood. And that goes back to Jamie Foxx and the fact that he has not come on video to say anything about his health status to the world, even though it's none of the world's damn business, to be very honest. But the reason is because Hollywood, because, he could possibly just can't do it. He might not be physically able to do it, despite the PR stuff that we heard in this Yahoo interview that I read earlier, or anything else we're seeing on social media coming from his personal account. Anybody could do that. I'm just saying.
Wow.
And I'm gonna tell you this: on the level he's on, if nobody could access his Instagram or whatever, then they could get somebody who could access it for them. Like, they're on the level of, you just make a phone call and you get it done. You get whatever you need done in this situation.
Wow. Well, what you think about the Jamie Foxx situation? And wait, could it be possible that he's gone? Could it be?
Are you really asking me that after I spent an hour talking about Jamie Foxx earlier?
I'm gonna give you a little more details. Like,
I'm getting into detail. We talked a whole hour.
Could it be that he could be cloned? Could it be that?
I brought up the fact that he could be cloned. I'm about to clone you.
Oh well, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. I got to mess with you.
You ain't messing with me, and you just basically told me you would sleep at the damn wheel. You sleep at the wheel. That's why you let that troll come in here. I see what's happening.
We have a discussion about that. Exactly.
I'm gonna have to get you. I'm gonna call you on my phone when we live next time on video. iPhone. You have an iPhone?
I have an earphone.
Oh Lord. All right, y'all. That's gonna call it for me today. Wayne just put me under. But listen, had a blast. Enjoy your Saturday. I will be back on the member channel later. I'm coming for sure. I'm gonna schedule this as soon as I get off of here. Later on tonight. So hopefully you are able to become a member if you haven't already. And if you haven't already, and you're able to, go ahead and click the join button. It's $1.99 a month. Okay. And if you don't like it, then you can simply unjoin. And $1.99 is definitely gonna get that out of it. If nothing else, you're gonna get your $1.99 back. Any last words, Mr.
Yes.
Wayne?
Please check out the replay if y'all just came in. Check out the description down below. Dum diddy jam.
Yes, all of that, and then some. Subscribe, like, share, all those good things. Visit my shorts page as well as my community wall. Oh, and I'm also going to be doing a book read on my member channel. I'm waiting for the book to come. But in celebration of hip hop's 50th anniversary, I will be reading Faith Evans' book. I can't think of the name of the book, but it's a book that came out. I think it came out in 2009. On TikTok, it's been trending some of the excerpts, and it's a little juicy. So I'm just going to say we're going to read that on the member channel as soon as I get the book, and I will announce it once I'm able to get that started. Okay.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course. You're welcome anytime. Next time, no, don't ask me to repeat a whole segment at the end of the damn show, because that's going
Well,
to
that's the reason why I need to check out the replay.
All right, Wayne. Listen, it's all love, and I'll chat with y'all later. All right. Bye.
Bye. Wow.